How many times have you ever had a problem and you've had to go and get it sorted? I'm sure you can all put your hand up and say, yeah, you've done that. But how many of you will play it through in your head what might happen, what the outcomes are, and you almost play like a mental chess. So you've made one move, they've made one, and you go on for these infinite permutations. I mean, I do that all the time. It's one thing I've talked about before, where I wake at like 5 in the morning and my brain's just whir. Because I think to some degree we all do that, and I think it's what comes with experience. Once you've got the experience of something, you're either less fearful, less concerned, or less worried. And the reason I'm talking about this and the reason I'm thinking about this is that I've been on a podcast recently, or I was listening to a podcast recently where they were talking about this very thing, that you've had this mental conversation, almost argument in your brain about what might happen, what might be the outcomes. But also I had a patient who came to me with some great thickened nails, and it must be a foot health thing where you get very, very excited by seeing these things. Partly because it's a challenge and also because you know you can help. And she came to me with these thickened nails and she said to me, I'm really worried about this procedure. And what I thought was interesting was her use of the term procedure, because to me it's not a procedure, it's a process, I suppose. But for her it was a big thing, it was a procedure, it's a medical looking room, so she was concerned about the procedure she was having. So she was concerned about it because she didn't know what to expect, and she'd actually built it up to be something bigger than a heart operation that she'd had about 10 years ago, which seems a little bit strange, but to some people, you know, a very small procedure or a very small process can be absolutely massive. And it's not about whether it is really a big or small thing, it's about how we perceive it. So I spent some time talking to her about it. I spent some time talking through what I was going to be doing. I spent some time talking about what equipment I would use, how I would do it, what outcomes I would expect. And she trusted me. We went with it and we did it. And her nails went from being kind of thick and long and quite impressive to being something much more comfortable. And I spoke to her afterwards about it, and she put her shoes and socks on, and I said, how did it feel? And she went, yeah, it feels really good. Thank you very much. And I'm going to see her again in a few months, and we're going to maintain that and keep on top of it for her. But she's got a really, really good outcome, even though she was very concerned about what might happen. And it got me thinking about how can we do more of that? How can we, as practitioners, go out there and make people aware of what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and also to allay people's fears? Because there will be a lot of people who either are concerned about something or they just don't know where to go to have those problems sorted. So I think there's a good opportunity for us as healthcare professionals to do more of that kind of stuff. And I was thinking about how could I do it better? And it kind of struck me that actually I've been doing this for the last 18 months, 2 years. I've actually been doing more and more of these videos to educate people on what to expect. But I still need to do more. And, I've talked about it before. I've had conversations where patients have come in for one problem and they've asked me about another problem they've seen someone else for. And that other problem is something which I deal with on a daily basis. So I think there's a lot more education which we need to do. So my challenge to you, if you're in healthcare, if you're in the foot health industry, if you're a colleague or a friend, go out there and educate the people who you serve on what you can do for them and find a way to allay their fears and show how you can help them more. Up for it? Cool. Anyway, I'm going to go and do some more work. So any questions, any comments, pop them below. It's great to see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.